So today's video is kind of long and is mainly just me talking about a doctor's appointment. It's important, but I thought I would bribe you guys into watching because at the end, Hannah is going to show us some of her new party tricks and you guys will get to see her a little bit more. Can you say see you later?
Here. Here.
Alright, on to the doctor's appointment. Hey guys, it is Cara the Bubble Lush. It is Tuesday, February 21st. And I had a big consultation today with my reproductive endocrinologist and I wanted to tell you all about it. So my appointment was this morning at 8:10 a.m. I was the first one in to see the doctor. And actually I should tell you guys, so I went in for my mid-cycle follicle study and they didn't see anything. Those of you that were watching my daily Lush videos during cycle 2 know that already. But for those of you on Bubble Lush, cycle 2 was canceled because I did not respond to the Femara again. So I actually met with, we'll call him Dr. P. He was the one that did my follicle study and he said, you know, I'm going to type up my findings of your ultrasound. I will forward them to your doctor, Dr. A, and she will get back to you, you know, probably tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay. So she never got back to me, and I think I went in on a Thursday, and so when she didn't get back to me on Friday, I was like, okay, she didn't get to it before the weekend, that's totally understandable. So I didn't hear from her on Monday. And then I was a little concerned, and then the work week started and I got really busy, and finally I was able to give her a call. And I left a message and I was like, you know, I went in for my follicle study, I didn't respond, we had discussed moving on to injectables, but no one got back to me. I'm just kind of hanging out, and I would really appreciate it if someone let me know what was going on. So I got a call back saying, you're going to have to schedule a consult if you want to switch over to injectables and switch your course of treatment. However, your doctor isn't currently scheduling any consults, so you're going to have to pick a different doctor. And I was like, what? So this was on a voicemail. I was listening to the voicemail to the nurse telling me this. And you could tell from her voice that she was uncomfortable, so that she like knew that this was wrong. But she was probably just told, cancel all my consults. So I called back and I was like, I need to schedule a consult, I guess. And, you know, it can't be with Dr. A. It needs to be with someone else in the practice. And she was like, I can get you in on March 16th. I was like, excuse me? Like, she said, well, you know, I might be able to get you in sooner. And I was like, yeah, I'm an existing patient. I've been with you guys since 2009. I think you can fit me in earlier than that. I'm not a new patient. And so she looked at the schedule and she found an opening for Tuesday at 8 a.m., but it was supposed to be like a phone consult, like that's what that time was scheduled for. And I was like, well, I want to come into person. I want to talk to the doctor. If I need to have any blood work done, I want to be able to be already there and I can just go downstairs to the lab. So she had to like get permission, and it was just ridiculous, but they were able to get me in today. So I was pissed at my clinic, first of all. I thought that was ridiculous, and I'm pissed at my doctor because basically I feel like I didn't respond and she was just like, I'm too busy for this, and just dropped me. So at first I wasn't super excited, honestly, about switching over to Dr. P. I met him quite a few times. He performed my IUIs, but I wasn't sure. Given his bedside manner, he seems to be very, like, I don't even know how to say it. His bedside manner is usually pretty hands-off, and he has kind of some guards up, and he's not mean by any means. Like, he's very nice, but I wanted a doctor that was like, we're going to do it this, and we're going to win, and we were going to get pregnant, and like very kind of upbeat, and he just wasn't that. He is much more reserved. So I go in there today, and I'm ready to fight if necessary to receive treatment, and he really surprised me. So the consult was only to last a half an hour, and I was in there for nearly an hour. We went over complete family history on my side. You know, we ruled my husband out as a problem right off the bat. So we just focused on me for the duration of the appointment, we talked about every single cycle that I went through trying to conceive Hannah. We went through everything that happened postpartum, the long breakthrough bleeding I was dealing with all summer, the 2 cycles of Femera I didn't respond to. We just talked about everything, and he got me lined up for a bunch of blood tests. I went downstairs today and to the lab and gave blood, and I've got a nice little bruise starting. It's not nearly as bad as it could be, but it's not as good. And so I gave 3 vials of blood, and not a big deal. So, the game plan, right? And if you're interested in the blood draws, I'm actually going to be doing separate videos about each of those blood tests, so just hang on. I will link them down below once they're all posted. So here is the game plan. We're going to switch to injectables. He's keeping in mind that I do not want to spend an arm and a leg. So what we're going to do is, since I have PCOS, since I was in an anovulatory cycle, he is going to assume that basically where my ovaries are today is where the same place they'll be on cycle day 3. Like, just kind of dormant, hanging out, which is honestly probably what's going to happen. So we're not going to do any baseline testing, which I am comfortable with. Again, you might not be comfortable with this, but I think if you're comfortable with your doctor and you're comfortable with your level of monitoring, that's the best you can hope for, because you know your own situation. And he has performed many of my ultrasounds, so he knows what my ovaries look like, and honestly, they look the same every time. So we're not going to have a baseline ultrasound done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start injectables on cycle day 3, and we're probably going to go for a week, like 5 to 7 days of injectables, and then I'll go in for an ultrasound and a blood test. And he's not expecting to really see anything. What we're going to do is we're going to do a dosage of 75 IUs. It depends on the different medicine, but it's going to be 75. And we're going to stick with that for the week, and we'll probably stick with that throughout the whole thing. He said I could be on the injectables for 8 days to 20 days. He thinks that I am the slow cooker type. All right. That it just takes me a little longer, and that he wants to, he would rather be cautious and kind of do slow and steady instead of pushing it and producing way too many follicles. So I'm comfortable with that. I'm a little scared at the idea of being on injectables for 20 days, considering each day is pretty expensive. We're probably going to do Follistim, which I'm comfortable with because it's a pen, and if we do want to adjust the dosage, you can just dial the pin in, so I'm comfortable with that. There is an option that I might switch over to Minipure, and that depends on what one of my tests comes back. Minipure is FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, in combination with luteinizing hormone. And if one of my tests come back showing that I need the luteinizing hormone because my FSH level is just way too low, then he'll switch me over to Minipure. But for right now, he doesn't think that's going to happen, and so I'm going to stick with Follistim. But it ultimately depends on what my tests come back. I go in on Friday morning, Chris and I do, for a little teaching class about how to work the pen and how to do the injectables. I am going to be on Provera for 10 days in order to preserve the uterine lining. I guess there was a study that if you do a low dose for a longer amount of time, ultimately it's better for your uterine lining than to do a slightly higher dose for a shorter period of time. Again, I'm okay with that. He said that there's a possibility that I could start bleeding while I'm still on that 10-day regimen, and then to just continue and finish off the 10 days. But obviously count that as cycle day 1. And let's see, what else do you talk about? He's just, he finds me to be very peculiar because sometimes I respond and sometimes I don't, and, you know, my weight and none of my, everything's the same as it was when I got pregnant with Hannah, so it's just kind of weird that I'm not responding. So that's why he ordered up so many of the blood tests, because he just wants to make sure that there's nothing else weird going on. Hopefully there's not. And I think there was one other thing. Oh, He said 25% of pregnancies are multiple pregnancies, and like 90% of those are twins, but the rest is what we're concerned about. And I said, absolutely. Twins, I'm not that concerned about. But then we talked about triplets. He is obviously very concerned about triplets and definitely concerned about anything over triplets. And he asked me what I felt about selective reduction, and I said that I was open to the discussion, but my husband and I had never really talked about it, and the idea of selective reduction really, really freaks me out. So, but it also freaks me out to have a high order of pregnancy. So what I want to do is just make sure that I am monitored kind of every step of the way on these injectables, and that if I'm responding too quickly, that we're able to dial it back or whatever, that we're able to ensure that I'm not responding too well. I think it all goes back to proper monitoring. So if you have any questions, leave them below. I'm sure that there's a lot of questions. Sorry, I'm a little... The appointment was first thing in the morning. I went and picked up my prescription of Provera, and then I came home and I picked up Hannah, and we went to Gymboree, and then we went to the park, and then we had lunch. And now it is nearly 2 o'clock and everything is a little jumbled in my head. So, but I feel good about it, and I'm excited to kind of get the show on the road. I'm excited to get the results from the blood test and make sure that everything is cool. And most importantly, I met with the financial consultant, and I am excited to have her pull the final report and see if there is any coverage on my insurance for this medicine. So, yep, that was my day in a nutshell, and I will do some more videos about the blood tests I'm doing. I just want to do a little bit more research, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Can you say hi? You're staring at yourself. Can you say hi? Hi. Wow. You show your necklaces? Can you lift up your necklace? Lift it up. I made it myself. You take that one off? I'm gonna show this necklace. Whoop! Careful. What are you doing? Here. Oh, backwards. Here we go. See? Uh-oh. It fell down. Up. Down.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. Hannah. It's empty. It's empty. There's nothing in there. Can you count?
1, 2, 3, 4,
5,
3, 4,
7,
8,
8, 9, 10. Can you count again with me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
4, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ow.
I know I have a boo-boo. 1.
Boo boo.
You want to kiss it? Thank you. You are doing really good with your counting. Don't touch.
Ha ha.
Oh, is it hot? Don't touch, please.
Ha ha.
Are you
Ha ha.
blowing it? Don't touch, please.
Ha ha.
What else have you learned? You can count. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Very good. And we don't really know our ABCs yet. We haven't been working on those, have we? You're all done? But you can still blow kisses really good.
5, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Very good.
3, 4, 5.
Good job. Can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
What are you doing? You blow kisses? No, blow kisses with your hands. Mwah.
Ma.
Very good.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.